Inequalities are the relationship between expressions that are not equal. That's why it's called inequalities. Solving inequalities is similar to basic math, but the only difference is it doesn't give you a precise or exact answer. It gives you like a general idea of what the answer is. It's not precise. Just like how roads have speed limits and movies have age restrictions, or the time it takes you to travel from point A to point B it gives you a general time limit, right? It's not a very exact answer. Okay, so now the way to solve an inequality, there is just you have to isolate the variable away from the numbers, and you just have to, once you multiply one side, you have to multiply the other side. That's just that's the basic rules of it. And just, of course, with all math, if you mess up, or like a Rubik's Cube, if you mess up one move, it will mess up the entire thing and you have to start from scratch. Okay, so now let me explain further with the questions. It says here, for the first question, John has more than 5 apples. Represent this situation with an inequality. Okay, so since we know that John has more than 5 apples, let us say x is the number of apples that John has. So since he has more than 5, we will represent this is x is greater than 5. Because John has more than 5 apples. Okay, next, the second question. Sarah is buying books and pens for school. She wants to spend less than $20 in total. Write an inequality. Okay, so first of all, now we can't exceed more than $20. So let's start with equals 20, because we can't go more than 20. So since there are two variables, the books and the pens, we can just say x plus y equals 20, because she is buying both books and pens for school, but she can't exceed $20. Okay, now let's go to the third. Mark has twice as many marbles as Coco. If Coco has at least 8 marbles, how many marbles does Mark have? Okay, so Mark, let's represent him with n. If Mark has twice as many marbles as Coco, that means Mark has 2 times Coco has. So we can represent by m equals 2 times the c, Coco. So since Coco has 8 marbles, how many marbles does Mark have? So since we know Coco has 8, we can just replace c with, we can rewrite this as m equals 2 times 8. So now we know this, 2 times 8 is 16. So now we know Mark has 16 marbles. And on the last question, Kim's savings account has more than $50 and she withdraws 30 from it. Write an inequality to represent her remaining savings. Okay, so first of all, we have to make a variable for Kim's savings account. First, let's represent that by s. Okay, and she deducts $30 from it. But it says in the first sentence, Kim's savings account has more than 50. So we have to write like this. But since we have to isolate the variable, I have to remove our number 30 and put it to the other side. And like I said, if we do something in one side, we have to do it in the other. So since I'm gonna remove this and put it here, this is gonna turn into positive 30. So we can rewrite this by Kim's savings account is greater than 80.